Hey guys, it's Nihongo Johnny and welcome to my channel if you are new. My name's Johnny and I talk about all things paranormal and Japan, so if you are into that sort of stuff, definitely click subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, and hit the bell for more notifications. I put out spooky videos every Friday. Today's topic was requested by a subscriber from this channel named Jill Valentine, so thank you so much for giving me the idea to do this video today. Today we're going to be talking about Kanashibari. And in English, Kanashibari is very similar to sleep paralysis. And I think this is a really cool topic, and I've been seeing it around the internet a lot lately. Some people's stories are quite horrifying, so it's definitely an interesting topic, but I feel really bad for the people who have to go through it, because it seems really scary. Kanashibari usually occurs when the REM sleep cycle overlaps the waking consciousness, and it leaves you paralyzed in this sort of dream state. Your mind is half awake, but your body is still asleep. And the real world and the dream world blend into one. And it usually seems more like the nightmare world than the dream world. Imagine waking up in the middle of the night and something seems a little bit off. You can't seem to move your body. And it feels like something's weighing down on your chest, almost strangling you. You want to scream for help, but you can't. And there's a strange creature off in the corner, almost like the woman from The Grudge. She's moving towards you in a very creepy way, and you want to do something, you want to get away, but you can't, you're completely paralyzed. That is what Kanashibari is like, and it's almost never a pleasant experience. Experiences like this are very terrifying, and they happen to people all over the world. The reason that this happens isn't always paranormal. There's some medical explanations as to why this is. However, this has been around for so long that there are many myths and legends surrounding sleep paralysis. In Japan, Kanashibari dates back to ancient times. They believe that this was caused by supernatural forces, and the supernatural force varied from legend to legend. The most popular belief was that this was caused by possession. Maybe a demon or a vengeful spirit entered your body. They believed that the only way this could be solved back then was by a Buddhist priest, and the Buddhist priest would recite sutras over the body of the paralyzed person, driving out the demon. Once the demon was completely gone, the person would be able to move again. Other stories tell of these ghosts that wreak havoc at night. They'll move around your furniture and toss your pillows and do all these really weird things. And if you woke up when one of these was in your house, it would cause you to go into sleep paralysis. Sometimes when this happened, you'd see a ghost boy sitting on your chest. That is really creepy. I just picture the boy from The Grudge sitting on your chest staring at you. And I would be terrified, especially if I couldn't move. Kanashibari could also be caused by priests and magic users. They'd put these curses on people, causing them to go into sleep paralysis. And last but not least is a popular theory that's still around today. I've seen this on many ghost shows before. It's the theory that there's a spirit haunting you, causing it. It will lurk around the corner, causing a foreboding feeling, and then come closer and closer to you. You can't move and maybe it reaches out and starts to strangle you. And that causes you some pain in your throat and makes it hard to breathe. I've heard stories of these ghosts grabbing you and trying to drag you out the window or a door, leading you to a dangerous place. All of these old stories are really creepy, but nowadays the medical world has new reasons and new explanations for why these things happen. Let's dive in to see what the medical world has to say. Sleep paralysis is a phenomenon that happens to over 40% of the world population at least once in their life. At least 8% of people suffer from sleep paralysis on a regular basis. That's pretty crazy. That's almost 1 in 10 people, which means you probably know someone who suffers from sleep paralysis on a regular basis. Although it doesn't pose any sort of risk to your health, it's still quite traumatic and it's a very terrifying experience. It seems like almost everyone I talk to who suffers from sleep paralysis says it's like living in a horror movie, but only 10 times worse because you can't move or do anything about it. Sleep paralysis occurs when your brain and body don't sync up when you're asleep. You have these kinds of switches that turn off both your brain and your body when you go to bed. And just like that, when you wake up, your brain switches them both back on. Sometimes those switches don't sync up, and that's what causes being paralyzed when you wake up. There's two kinds of sleep paralysis. There's isolated sleep paralysis, and this happens to almost everyone at least once in their life. But the other type is recurrent sleep paralysis, and this is much worse. This happens to people on a regular basis, and sometimes it can last for hours. I can't possibly imagine being trapped in your body for that long, experiencing horrifying things. So I'm really sorry if any of you guys suffer from this. It's really terrible. In both cases, people report not being able to move at all, but some people can kind of wiggle their face muscles or toes to trigger their body to wake up. And I've feel like that's a really lucky trigger that some people have. There's many who experience not being able to breathe well, sort of like something sitting on their chest or strangling their throat, and this probably amplifies things a lot more. The worst part of all of this is probably the hallucinations. These scary figures from horror movies in the depths of your imagination will come out and appear to you, and they might be near your bed or they might be across the room drawing closer. Sometimes people will hear humming behind their head or sometimes deep breathing, and there's even a chance that you might feel something come out and touch you during this state. There's three main types of hallucinations. The first one is the intruder. It's that evil presence with ill intentions moving towards you. There's the incubus, something that sits on your chest, making it hard to breathe. And finally, levitation, the sensation that you're being lifted out of bed and maybe even transported elsewhere. One of the things that I find most interesting is in some of these cases, people believed they were abducted by aliens. And to these people, while they were sleeping, it seemed very real and very terrifying. Little is known about what actually causes sleep paralysis, but they do know some triggers. Things like doing drugs, eating heavy foods before bed, being under a lot of stress, or even not getting enough sleep can all be triggers for sleep paralysis. They can even make episodes worse. But I want to know, do any of you guys suffer from sleep paralysis? Have you had it once before? Do you have it on a regular basis? And if you do, if you have any stories you'd like to share, please let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you haven't already, please hit subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, and hit the bell for more notifications. I put out spooky videos every Friday, and I'll see you guys all next week for another spooky video.